At Option Genius, we believe that you deserve freedom, financial freedom, so that you have no more worries and more than enough money. Time freedom, so that you could do what you want when you want to do it. And choice freedom, to live your life on your terms. But the system and Wall Street are rigged against us little guys. So how do we fight back? Well, my friend, that's what this podcast is all about. My name is Alan Sama, and this is the Option Genius Podcast. Greetings, Genius Nation. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I want to be talking about Bitcoin. And as you probably know, unless you've been living under a rock, Bitcoin is going crazy. I mean, just recently, Bitcoin passed $7,000, actually crossed the $7,500 mark just recently, although it has come back a little bit since then. It's the $7,500 mark just recently, although it has come back a little bit since then. It might be going higher. It might be crashing. I don't know the future, but right now it is all over the news. It is all everything anybody wants to talk about. I mean, seriously, if I had a Bitcoin for everybody that has ever asked me about Bitcoin, but seriously, there is so many people who are thinking about it who haven't jumped on board. There's some people who are dabbling in it. So, whether you have invested in Bitcoin already or any other cryptocurrency, or if you're thinking about it, I wanted to put this podcast out there, this episode out there, because there are a lot of episodes out there because there are a lot of scams. There are some things that you need to be aware of that are happening in the market right now, that are happening because there are people who want to take advantage of you. Everybody out there cannot be super educated about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and all that. And because of that, and how they are supposed to be so complicated that the normal person can't understand, there are people who are taking advantage of people who want to invest, taking advantage of normal people. And so I have, jotted down some notes, and I have 3 different scams that are out there that are happening to be aware of. Now, these scams are not directly about Bitcoin. Buying Bitcoin itself is not a scam. At least I don't think so. And I'm going to share with you how I have bought Bitcoin, how I do it. I'll share with you what broker I use, what wallet I use, and what other coins I'm in. And to date, basically, I have more than doubled my money. And I only got started back in April of 2017, which is, for now, it's only about 8 months. So that's going to be on the next episode. Make sure you download the next episode as well as this one. But right now, what I want to do is give you a look under the hood into how the marketing scams work, okay? How these people around you are using the rules of Bitcoin to trick you. Now, I bet you that this episode is going to get a lot of flack. I'm going to, meaning it's going to be people I'm going to hear from are going to hate that I'm exposing them. But I think it's something you should know so that when you go into a transaction, you can go in with a clear vision of what is actually happening. So you're not taken advantage of. So you're not scammed. If you know the truth about what the other side is doing and saying, even behind the scenes, you'll have a better idea of if what they're offering you is actually worth what they're charging. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take a look behind the curtain. Now, before we do that, I need to explain to you a little bit about financial publishing. And basically, a financial publisher is a company that publishes information about finance. Really? So it's kind of like, Forbes magazine, they publish information. CNBC, they publish information. People like me at Option Genius, we are also financial publishers, although I'm much smaller than those other guys, right? Anybody that's out there that's talking about finances is a financial publisher. And there's a few different models that these publishers make money. One of the ways that they do so is that they sell newsletters, right? They sell a membership. So there's like the Monthly Fool is one great example. So it's a decent sized company. They put out a lot of good information, but if you want to get their premium information, you actually have to pay them on a monthly or yearly basis to get access to their premium information. So they sell Agora Financial. Now, Agora is the main company. Agora Financial is one of their little baby companies, I guess, their subsidiaries, if you call it. Agora is a very, very large publisher. They're not in just financials. They're in the health space, they're in the fitness space, they're in all, personal development, all kinds of things. Their companies, one of their subsidiaries, if you've heard of Porter Stansberry is a real person. And he used to have his own company. He used to be his own financial publisher. He ran his own company until he got indicted. And then he had to pay a lot of money in fines and fees because basically they did illegal stuff and, they didn't really say everything that was supposed to be said and all that. But now Agora Financial has reached out to, Porter Stansberry and given him another shot. So now he's back into the publishing space and he's pitching newsletters again. And, just to get a size, and he's pitching newsletters again. And, just to get a size of it, this Agora Financial is a company that is on track to do over $100 million in sales. $100 million a year in sales of selling newsletters. So they have to have a really good way of selling newsletters. So they have to have a really good way to sell these newsletters because, my thing is at Option Genius, we started with a membership, which is like a newsletter, right? It was an every month. We still is. We charge every month and you get access to the information that we're putting out. In our case, it's trades. It's very hard to sell a newsletter. The way the mechanisms of the marketing work out, you have to pay a lot of money up front to advertise to get a new customer. And then hopefully that customer will stay with you for several months and years so that you get that money back. Now, the normal way that publishers sell newsletters right now is, and this is a formula that they've been using and it's working really well, is they find something really hot. What is the hot thing that everybody's talking about? Now, right now, it's Bitcoin, obviously, right? Now, before Bitcoin, it was something else. It was, the Trump tax plan. Before that, it was Trump's election. America didn't really end. But the fact that they were saying that, it was a hook. These promotions always have a hook, something to get you to take notice, something that you might already be thinking in your head. So they reach out to you and say, hey, are you thinking about this? So are we. Come in and we'll tell you all about it. So they talk about all this new thing. And at the end, they pitch you a newsletter as a way to cash in on this new thing, right? Because they have some secret information that they're going to give you. Sometimes they say this is going to be part of the newsletter. Sometimes they say that they're going to spill the beans about the new thing in a special report. If you get the special report in the special information, you got to join the newsletter. Now, normally, though, the newsletter has nothing to do with this new thing. It's just a newsletter. Plain and boring, right? But they have to come up with these creative ways to hook you so they can sell the newsletter. I mean, and this stuff works, right? It works great. If you've ever bought a newsletter, most likely it wasn't because of the newsletter. For example, a couple months ago, I was at my accountant's office and he was asking me, he goes, hey, Alan, what stock is the next Amazon? And I was looking at him like, what are you talking about? He goes, no, I saw this ad on the internet and it says, I saw this ad on the internet and it says that, they've identified the next stock that's going to be Amazon. And I was like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. That's an ad from the Motley Fool. That was a promotion that they were running, that they've identified the next Amazon and they will tell you what that's if you buy their newsletter. So I was like, why don't you just get the newsletter? He goes, no, I don't want the newsletter. I don't want their membership. I just want to know the name of the stock. So these hooks, they actually really, really work. And so right now what we have going on as I speak, Agora Financial, that's why I'm talking about them because I'm going to use them as an example. They have a webinar about Bitcoin or basically about cryptocurrency, not exactly Bitcoin. Everybody knows the name Bitcoin. They don't really know what a cryptocurrency is. So they have a webinar about cryptocurrency. Now, Agora did reach out to us to help them promote it. Not just us, we're a small fry, but they reached out to hundreds of other companies to get people to register for this webinar. And at the end, like I told you, at the end of the webinar, they pitch a newsletter. If we promote for them, like say you get an email from us about this webinar, you click on a link, you go register for the webinar, and then if you buy the newsletter at the end, we would be getting a commission as an affiliate. Now they're using affiliates to promote it and paying out commission. So on this webinar itself, you have a guy who, I don't know this guy, but he's claimed as a cryptocurrency expert. And he talks all about these currencies there are thousands of these currencies right now, which are they're not Bitcoin, the big daddy. These are all like little tiny little currencies that have come out of this whole cryptocurrency blockchain thing. So there are thousands of these currencies, and he's talking about all the monies that somebody could have made if they were trading these. Now I say could in air quotes because, the examples they give you, nobody made those money. They show you, say, hey, take a look at this coin. It went from like 0.0001 cent per coin to like $2 a coin. That's a gain of like 50,000 million %, right? So imagine if you had just bought that all the way at the beginning. Well, nobody did. It's cool to get you pumped up about it. But at the end of the pitch, the end of the webinar is the pitch for the webinar. And if you buy on the webinar, the newsletter is $1,000 for a year. And if you wait until after the webinar is over, it's $2,000 for the year. Now, I don't know if the newsletter is any good. I'm not going to talk about that because, I am not a member. I haven't read it. I'm not going to talk about that because, I am not a member. I haven't read it. It's probably great. I don't know. But the webinar is awesome. It is a great marketing piece. It is working like gangbusters. They have used that webinar to sell close to $30 million worth of subscriptions. Of subscriptions. $30 million worth of subscriptions for one newsletter. They did that. They did about 15 million with their own ads and their own money. And then now they've done a little over 11 million using affiliates. And I'm sure they're going to keep going, as long as Bitcoin is hot, as long as Bitcoin keeps jumping over again. But guess what? The newsletter that they're pitching is not even about Bitcoin. It's been around for a while. Okay. They're just using the hot new thing to sell it, like I explained before. And they're not the only ones. They're not doing anything wrong, right? Others have jumped on this Bitcoin bandwagon as well, claiming to be experts. Okay. Not the way they market it, but the fact that there are no Bitcoin experts, because there cannot be. This thing is too new and nobody can predict what will happen. Okay. There are people out there. Oh yeah, I made millions on Bitcoin. Well, great. You got lucky, right? You made a bet. You placed a gamble. Right? You made a bet, you placed a gamble. That's what it was. Bitcoin kind of still is a gamble because it could fall apart. The US government could come out and outlaw it tomorrow and Bitcoin's going in the ground. Okay. So it is still a gamble. It is still a risk. So somebody claiming that, hey, I made how I do it. Well, they didn't do anything. They just bought it. And then there are people out there saying that they're traders. They're awesome traders. They're trading in and out. Well, to me, that is kind of crazy because you have something that, when I bought it, it was somewhere around $2,500 a coin. Now it's up over $7,500 or so, well, over a coin. Now it's up over $7,500 or so, well, over $7,000 a coin in like 8 months. Why would you be trading in and out of that? Why would you just not hold it? Because if you're trading in and out, you're losing money. There are people claiming to be experts. My thing here is they're full of it. Please don't fall for it. They're full of it. Please don't fall for it. And I'm sure some of you are listening. You've probably already done so, or maybe you're thinking about buying a newsletter, or you're affiliated with some guy who's a trader, who says he's an expert, and you want to feel good about what you bought, right? You don't want me to say that your guru is, you're going to tell me about how awesome your Bitcoin expert is. Maybe the guy is, maybe the guy's not. I can't say for sure about your particular guy. I just know that most of them out there are scams. Okay. You can trust me on this because I have met these people. I am a financial publisher. I am one of them, right? Financial publishers hang out in the same circle talking about. All right. So just do your homework. That's what I'm saying. Just do your own homework. Don't buy or sell something just because some expert or guru tells you to, especially in something so new right now. If somebody comes up to you without a track record, they're just making stuff up. Okay. So that brings us to scam number 2. Okay. So as the Bitcoin thing has gone up, all the noise about Bitcoin, about people talking about Bitcoin has also gone up. So, you can go right now, you can go to YouTube and you can find that there are several different YouTube channels that talk about nothing, but these guys they actually know what they're talking about. So if you're looking for a Bitcoin expert, maybe you should go to YouTube, watch a whole bunch of these guys' videos, see if they know what they're talking about, and then you can follow them, right? And then you can follow along what they're doing. And maybe they have a newsletter too. And so there's this one guy on YouTube. He's not an expert, and he doesn't claim to be. He's 17 years old. So he's a kid. He's not even a guy, right? And I saw his video. I was just watching other stuff, and I saw one of his little videos pop up on the side. And basically it says, how I made $100,000 a year in a year with Bitcoin. I was like, holy cow, I want to see that. How'd this guy do that? And so he goes through his whole thing about, Bitcoin is great, the different companies that he works with. And it turns out that he didn't make the money with Bitcoin. He didn't make the money with trading Bitcoin because he didn't have any money. He's 17 years old. But what he did was he made a video every single day. Every single day he would use his webcam to make a video. And he was talking about Bitcoin. And then he would be talking about other companies that have to do with Bitcoin. So there are mining companies, there are brokers, or there are wallets. There's all these different companies that feed into the Bitcoin environment. And basically what happens is, if you signed up for one of these companies using his link, he would get an affiliate commission. And so that's what he did. He made $100,000. This is not verified. That's what he said. He made $100,000 in a year as an affiliate earlier, right? That's freaking crazy. But let me ask you this. If somebody is getting paid to recommend something, do you think that they're going to be completely honest? I mean, I hope so, but if you see a video about this guy saying, hey, you know what, and this is the best thing out there, you got to ask yourself, well, are there any other softwares out there? Could there be like a conflict of interest here? But at least this guy in his videos, he was honest, this kid, right? He clearly discloses in his videos that he is going to get a commission. And I'm cool with that. I applaud this kid. I wish there were more kids like him, going out this kid. I wish there were more kids like him, going out there, making a difference, changing his life, taking some initiative, right? But then there are the other people that are not honest. So there's this girl. I can't give you the name, but she does review videos on YouTube. So she does women's clothing and stuff like that. So there was one video of hers where she's talking about, hey, I just went to Amazon and I bought these 4 corsets. They're like corsets. I don't know what they're shapers or whatever they're called, but I mean, they look skinny, right? So she's like, hey, I bought these 4 of them, and look at this one, look at this one, look at this one. I'm going to try them all on so you can see what they're like, and I'll tell you the good and bad and how they feel and all that. So that was the whole video. She's telling you the pros and the cons of each of these corsets. And at the end, she tells you, oh, you know what? This particular corset is the best. I like this one the best. It's not the cheapest, but it has the best material and and this is the best one. So if you're going to buy a corset, you should probably go to Amazon and you should get this one. And I'll have a link on my YouTube video to Amazon and you can buy it. And Amazon also does affiliate commissions. So, I mean, that seems pretty much just like the kid, right? She talked about these 4 little things. She did a little review and then she disclosed it that she will get a commission from it. But that's not the end of the story. Okay, so if you dig around a little bit, you will find out that this particular person has other videos. Actually, she has lots of videos doing these webinar reviews or these YouTube reviews, these video reviews. But she also has another channel on which she will teach you. Girl is talking on the videos where she's reviewing items that she is the seller of. Okay, so she's making it seem like she is a unbiased person who's just doing a review. But the product that she picks as the best, the one that she tells you to buy, is the one that she is the seller of on Amazon. Because on Amazon, you can go and sell any product you want. Amazon will let you list it. And they'll even, do the shipping for you and all that stuff. So she goes and she takes a product, she views video, and then she tells people that hers is the best. But she doesn't tell you that she is the seller of the product, right? That's kind of like Ford Motor Company going out and doing a video where they're like consumer reports, and they're telling you, oh, well, this car is good, and this car is good, and this car is good, but the Ford is the best. You should buy good, and this car is good, but the Ford is the best. You should buy the Ford. And that's Ford Motor Company telling you to do that. Are you going to believe them? No, because it's completely biased. It's completely BS. It's you're pretty much lying to people, And so I want you to be careful of the reviews. Be careful of, you can do them on YouTube. There are articles that are fake. There are news sites that are made to look like real news sites, but they're fake. There's a whole branch of advertising called native advertising, if you want to look it up. And basically, a native ad is an ad that's made to look like information. And so you'll see these ads all over the place, even on big websites. You can go to any major website, like a Newswhite, CNBC, CNN, all of these. They have little portions on their pages that you'll see the name Taboola. Ads small, but the ads will be there like, there's an ad that runs a lot like, oh, these two guys are changing the auto insurance industry. So, that's an ad. If you click on it, you go to a web page that looks like a real web page, but it's just information, and it's an ad for their insurance company. You won't even believe how many reviews online are fake, okay? Especially on YouTube. But even on Amazon. If you buy stuff from Amazon, don't always believe the reviews, because a lot of them are fake, especially, the positive ones. The fake one, the ones that are like 0-star and, this product is a piece of crap, are actually probably the true ones. But there are so many good reviews out there, because there are companies out there that you can hire to post fake reviews on any single site that you want, So just be careful of the reviews. That's scam number 2. Scam number 3. That's scam number 2. Scam number 3. Okay. So here we have something that I'm calling the crypto opportunity. So we actually had a long-term Option Genius member email me a few months ago, and he was telling me that he is invested in this new awesome opportunity. And that's what it was called. It was called an opportunity. I don't even know the name of the company. And basically, he sent me a link to a YouTube video. YouTube, right? He's seeing a pattern here. So he sent me to this video on YouTube where this guy is talking about an opportunity. And I'm okay, what's the opportunity? So he's like, if you join the opportunity, you will have the opportunity to give money and have your money traded by our super amazing cryptocurrency trader. And I was like, okay, so how good is this trader guy, right? So they go on to say that their cryptocurrency trader makes 1,500% returns every 3 weeks. And I was like, blown my mind. I was like, whoa, my God. Even if you round that off to a month, that's a pretty return, man. You give the guy $1 and he'll give you back $15 at the end of the month. Oh, I'm in, right? That's so cool. I want to do that. Oh my God, that's an amazing opportunity, right? So then the guy keeps going on. He's like, yeah, we have that opportunity, and then we also have, as part of our opportunity, we have something else where we are going to be creating they're going to be giving me some of their cryptocurrency, so that when the cryptocurrency goes super, super high like Bitcoin does, I'll be on the ground floor. I was like, holy cow, that's amazing. I get this currency for free. Well, I think it's free. I want to join this opportunity. I wonder how much I had to put, right? And so that's not the only thing. There's not the only thing. There's another part of this opportunity that if I tell my friends and family about the opportunity and they join, well, they're going to pay me something. The company's going to give me something for letting my friends and family know about this awesome opportunity. Isn't that great? Holy cow. So not only do I get to give money to the trader guy, and he's going to give me 1,500% every 3 weeks, but I get free cryptocurrency that's going to go, it's going to be trading for thousands and thousands of dollars like Bitcoin is, a commission every time one of my friends and family joins. That's so awesome. And you know how much the opportunity was? Well, it was only $1,000. So I give them $1,000. I get to be part of the opportunity. Oh my God. So yes, folks, that is a scam, and I'm being totally sarcastic. So that is a real scam that is out there. Totally sarcastic. So that is a real scam that is out there. It's basically pyramid marketing, or, what Bernie Madoff did, right? And so I did have a member who emailed me about it, and he's like, I'm not trying to get you to sign up. I'm just telling you about it. I was like, well, thanks. He actually wanted me to, I'm just telling you about it. I was like, well, thanks. He actually wanted me to tell all my subscribers about it, which I kindly declined. But he told me that he'd been in there for at least 2 or 3 weeks, and that it was real, and the trader guy was actually doing the returns. Well, you know how that works, right? This is 100% in 3 weeks. And they don't do it on a consistent basis. You might do it once if you're lucky, and you have to, you sell your firstborn child to the devil. You might do it once, but you're not going to do it over and over and over and over again, right? There has to be something else. So basically, it's a Ponzi scheme. They're getting people to sign up, and the people who so that it looks like they're actually doing what they're saying that they're going to do. Now, I haven't followed up with him, so I don't know how it is going now, but that was a couple months ago. But just be careful of those as well, right? Because there are thousands and thousands of cryptocurrencies out there right now. There are more being born every day through what are called ICOs. This is kind of like going public for a company. An ICO is going public for a cryptocurrency. And the truth is that anybody can make a cryptocurrency. You can actually hire people to do the whole process. It's not very complicated. Basically, you have to have somebody write you, they call it, where you write down why you're making the currency, what are the parameters of the currency, and some of the technical stuff. You make your own website that says, hey, we're coming out with this currency, and you have a button that lets people buy the currency even before the currency is public, right? Before it's traded public. Right before it's traded. So basically what the thing is with this ICO is it costs money to do the programming to make a currency. So with the ICO, you're actually investing before it goes public. So the point is that if I was doing one of these, I'd be like, hey, you know what? I need to do the programming to make this currency. So what I'll do is I will sell this currency before it's even available, and I'll use that money to pay for the programming, and then I'll launch my currency. So that's a great way to do it, but what happens if you run out of money and you don't actually put the currency out there? Well, then, it has happened before. It has happened where people came out with this ICO, they took all the money and they disappeared. That's also happened. So, there's the thousands and thousands of currencies out there. I'm saying most of them, or a lot of them, are scams, because they're really not needed, for one thing. Did you know, and this one is not a scam, but did you know that Burger King has their own currency? They do. In the UK. It's in the UK. It's not in the United States. You can go, it's called a Whopper coin. I love it. It's called a Whopper. Every time you buy a Whopper, you get one Whopper coin. And so, you save up your Whopper coins, and then you can use your Whopper coins to buy food. So it's kind of like a coupon, right? And then they're saying that eventually the Whopper coin will, go up in value. So you might even get rich by buying Whoppers. Cool, right? So that's one. I mean, if we're using it as like a marketing gimmick, right? How much further do we have to go before this thing really topples over? It's too early right now, but it's coming. Because there are people out there that when they come out with a coin, or even before, they get people to invest in the coin. So that makes the value of the coin go up, right? And then what happens? The people who made the coin, well, they stop supporting the coin because they have to have an ongoing expense to support the coin, make sure it's relevant, make sure it's all the systems are working and all that. They stop supporting the coin collapses, and it's over, right? Because the people who made the coin, when the coin starts going up in value, they sell everything, and then they stop supporting it, so the value drops, goes to zero, and they made hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, and they're gone. And there it is. Up till now, it's perfectly legal. And that's why in China has banned all of these ICOs. they don't want any new currencies. Because there are too many scams. There are too many people losing money right now. It's going to happen. There is going to be like a coin collapse or a coin-amageddon. There is going to be like a coin collapse or a coin-amageddon or something like that. It's going to be all over the news. It's going to be front page. It's too soon to happen right now, but it is going to happen. So all of the coins that you are told to buy and hold, all these coins that have no real purpose, or they're worth pennies, or just a few pennies, or just a few cents, there will collapse. Maybe not all of them, And I will tell you the ones that I have and the ones I own, so I don't think they're going to collapse because I've done some research into them. I will tell you those in the next episode of the podcast. But most of the coins out there will collapse because they're penny stocks, right? When we had in the early 2000, the 1998, 1999, when the stock market was going crazy and they had the whole dot-com boost, if you remember this, there were companies where, it could be like, hey, Calendar Corporation of America. All they had to do was change Calendar Corporation of America. All they had to do was change their name to .com. So it would be Calendar Corporation of America.com. And their shares would skyrocket. Boom. Just because they were part of the .com, just because they were doing something online, their share .com, just because they were doing something online, their shares would go skyrocketing. And then the people who own the company would sell all their shares would come back down, people would lose all their money, and the people who own the company would be like, hey, we're going out of business. Sorry. This is almost exactly the same thing. It's like history repeating. So, I saw an ad the other day from this sex has-been, Paris Hilton. If you heard about her, if you remember her, she was famous for doing a sex video, right? But she's an heiress of Hilton. She's, she's worth a lot of money, but she's worth a lot of money, but she was promoting some weird, crazy cryptocurrency. It had an ad with her in it, and she's like, oh, I can't wait for this cryptocurrency to come out. I'm going to invest all my money in this cryptocurrency. What the heck does this person know about cryptocurrency? What does she know about money? Cryptocurrency. What does she know about money? Why would I, invest in this thing because she's going to, but I'm sure people did. And that's how crazy this has gotten, if you have somebody that actually knows about finance or something like that, talking about how valuable a currency is going to be, then that's one thing, stars and models and sex, whatever she was, if they're promoting this stuff, I don't know how far this bubble has to go before it pops. Okay. So, just like I said earlier, you got to be careful. You got to be careful of the cryptocurrencies that blow up, and they're all pumps and dumps, most of them. You got to be careful of reviews, right? So that's another thing. You got to be careful of what you see online. And then you have to be careful of the experts, or the so-called experts, because there are new ones popping up every single day with no track records. Just, because something is new, something is hot, people are willing to part with their common sense to be a part of it. They see that Bitcoin has gone up from like $1,000 in the beginning of the year to $7,000 now. Folks, I'll tell you in the next episode how I got in, when I got in, and what I did with it. It's not really complicated. It's the same, all of it. I'll tell you in the next episode. But for right now, these are the 3 major scams that I need you to be aware of. So please be careful. Please do your homework. I can't say that enough. Do not invest with money that you cannot afford to lose. Don't do it in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies or any investment for that matter. If you can't afford to lose it, don't invest it in something that you cannot, even if it's something crazy like crypto. So just be careful. Be aware of the different scams out there. I hope this episode was helpful. If it was, please leave a review on iTunes. Those really help a lot. Please leave a 5-star review. Please, please, please. Those really help a lot. Please leave a 5-star review. Please, please, please. I don't know if I'm allowed to even ask for reviews, but, subscribe to the podcast. It's great. It's still early going. And so, the more subscribers we have, the more the word gets out there. It'd be really awesome to have you as a subscriber and downloading our episodes. And if you have anything that you want to talk about, if you have anything that you want to have a question about, go ahead, please email us at help@optiongenius.com. We're always available at optiongenius.com, so please contact us, let us know what you think, and until then, trade with the odds in your favor. Lifestyle today? Well then, head on over to optiongenius.com and sign up for our free 9-lesson course on how to sell options.